Hi, my name is Lawrence Mills. I am currently undertaking an industry project in environmental engineering with a company called Gelita. Gelita is responsible for producing all of the country's gelatine. It does this at a processing plant located near Bow Desert in southeast Queensland. This product is commonly used as a foaming agent for a range of products such as pharmaceuticals, cosmetics, foods, and photographic film. The process involves obtaining large amounts of hide from various cattle outlets throughout the country, which is subject to extensive pre-treatment involving acidulation and alkalization in order to break down the collagen structure of the hide so that it may be hydrolyzed in order to form gelatine. A large amount of wastewater is produced in this project, which contains considerable amounts of contaminants such as different forms of nitrogen and dissolved solids. This wastewater is treated on site using a conventional wastewater treatment plant so that it can be discharged to the environment without having any adverse effects on the environment. As Gelita prioritises the sustainability of all its operations, it is currently looking at ways in which you could further lessen its impact on the environment, especially in the event that a new legislation were to be introduced enforcing new restrictions on certain pollutants. It is therefore my assignment within this company to undertake a thorough evaluation of the current nitrogen level which is being discharged to the environment, and also how new technologies could be introduced in order to further enhance nitrogen removal within the factory. My project mainly involves two tasks. The first task involves undertaking a chemical mass balance throughout the plant and also evaluating how nitrogenification and nitrogen removal is occurring within the plant. The chemical mass balance is involved with the concept that the mass of a chemical remains constant throughout a system, however it changes different forms. This part also contains a practical component in which I have to sample various outlets throughout the raw materials part of the plant and also the wastewater treatment plant to test them for nitrogen. I do this using two tests. One of these tests is the total nitrogen test, which accounts for all forms of nitrogen. And I also use the TKN test, which stands for total kj nitrogen, which accounts for ammonia, ammonium, and organic nitrogen. By obtaining this value, I can subtract this from the total nitrogen to get an indication of the combined nitrite and nitrates. This is essential to know, as nitrates have the potential to cause eutrophication in a nearby water body. The next task involved with the first component of my project involves assessing how nitrogen removal, mainly through denitrification and nitrification, is occurring within the plant. This involves a thorough analysis and interpretation of the physical and chemical processes that are occurring in order for nitrogen removal to occur. It also takes into account some of the key factors that are required for optimal nitrogen removal and how there may be certain weaknesses with the current setup. The second component of my project involves analysing and evaluating different technologies that could be implemented within the plant in order to enhance nitrogen removal to make Gelita's operations more sustainable. Some of these technologies that are being considered include membrane technology, which works to remove ions, and also investigating current technologies that are in the plant as to how they could further contribute to nitrogen removal. This part of the project involves, also like the first part, involves a thorough analysis of all the processes that are involved with these technologies to denitrify and remove nitrogen, and also many of the other factors that need to be considered, such as the economics and efficiency, and whether they can be sustainably utilised by the plant. From this outline of the project that I've given, it's quite clear that it follows the conventional engineering method of first identifying a problem and researching ways to come to a solution for this problem. I've identified the problem by carrying out the mass balance of the plant and assessing how nitrification and denitrification are occurring and whether there are certain weaknesses that need to be identified. I'm then carrying out the research and analysis of a solution by researching the different technologies, how they work, and how they could be implemented to efficiently and sustainably remove nitrogen from the plant. It is also quite clear that my project follows a number of the Stage 1 competencies outlined by Engineers Australia. For example, it is quite clear that the project requires a comprehensive theory-based understanding of all the physical and biological principles and the engineering fundamentals required for the engineering discipline, in which case the topic being reviewed is denitrification. As stated earlier, there are a number of physical and chemical processes that are required for nitrogen removal, which I'm investigating. I'm then linking many of these concepts to critically analyse and interpret a solution to this problem. Secondly, this project requires a conceptual understanding of the mathematics, numerical, and information systems required for the engineering discipline, as I am carrying out the chemical mass balance in order to illustrate the main processes in the plant that are responsible for producing the forms of nitrogen that we need to be aware of. It is using this analysis to identify the problem which we need to find a solution to. Thirdly, it requires a discernment of knowledge of the current research of different technologies within the engineering discipline. As I am researching developments, new technologies, and ways in which they could be implemented within the plant. I'm also doing a thorough literature review of these technologies in order to find a solution to this problem. Lastly, the project is taking into account knowledge of contextual factors as I'm integrating the nitrogen removal process with a range of other factors such as environmental factors, economic factors, and social factors. So in conclusion, it is quite clear that the project I'm undertaking follows the conventional method of first identifying a solution, a problem, and researching ways to obtain a solution. It's also quite clear that due to the range of factors and processes that need to be evaluated, that it clearly follows many of the Stage 1 competencies outlined by Engineers Australia.